I'll just rise to briefly take note on the question that I put to the Treasurer today in response to the media article, the article in the Australian on the weekend, which was an exclusive article, and it's clear that the reporter there spoke directly with Most Reverend Archbishop Fisher of the Catholic Diocese. And I want to quote the Bishop directly, if I may, from the article. It's clear that the Bishop has raised concerns that the current draft legislation that's being deliberated by Federal Labor has the potential to really impact the education services provided by the Catholic Diocese. And he says, "If we were told we were not allowed to take religion into account in who we employ or the ethos of our schools," which is quite a push at the moment. And it's very clear, and I do acknowledge that the Treasurer said does suggest that it's a last resort. Of course it's a last resort for the Catholic Diocese to stop providing education services, but they are increasingly being left with very little options. The fact that you have Federal Labor pursuing this agenda, pursuing this review, and it's clear that the review is specifically looking at the issue of employment. You only have to look at the terms of reference. It's the second main reference there, where they're clearly stating that religious institutions cannot discriminate against a member of staff on the basis of sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, marital or relationship status or pregnancy. It's incredible to ask Catholic schools, and indeed Christian schools, Orthodox and other faith schools, to provide education services to expect that those teachers not espouse the views and values of their particular faith. It is ridiculous to suggest otherwise. And religious institutions are well in their rights right now to raise concerns, and this isn't just an accidental interview, this is an exclusive with Australian. The Bishop is clearly raising concerns that they have with the draft legislation being proposed federally, but at the same time there are many faith groups now raising concerns as to why this government, the Labor government here in New South Wales, is even entertaining the Equality Bill, for example, which is a direct attack on religion. There's no question of that. And why it's entertaining a review of the ADA for the next 12 months, which also is a very broad review and clearly part of this insidious political agenda that you're seeing both federal and New South Wales Labor working together to erode religious or the protections that religious institutions and indeed schools and churches and places of worship need to be able to provide the necessary services to their parishioners and to their students.
Has expired. The Honourable Stephen Lawrence.